Right, in this video we're going to have a look at expanding both double and triple brackets. We've previously looked at expanding single brackets and you can see the link for that now. So, having a look at this double bracket, first of all we need to understand what the word expand means. So that means we need to multiply out our brackets. The simplified part will come later on. So the way I do this is by drawing the lines in. So we've got m multiplied by m, which is m squared, m multiplied by positive 3, which is equal to 3m, positive 7 multiplied by m is positive 7m, and then positive 7 multiplied by positive 3 gives you positive 21. You may hear some people calling this the Parrot Method, and it just reminds you that you've got this double expansion. And you can see why it's called that if we draw that in there. You might also see some teachers use a grid method to multiply. This is where they write the top bracket first, so m plus 7, and then the second bracket down the side. They will then expand this. M multiplied by m is m squared, m multiplied by positive 7 is positive 7m, m multiplied by positive 3 is positive 3m, and finally positive 3 times positive 7 is positive 21. So you can see you get the exact same 4 terms as what we had when we expanded it on the left hand side. It doesn't matter which method you take. I prefer the method on the left as it's a bit quicker and I don't need to draw my grid out. Now we come to the simplify part. So that gives you a hint that we've got to collect together our like terms. Our like terms in this example would be 3m plus 7m. So our final answer, our m squared stays the same. Collect together our 3m plus 7m to get 10m, and then we've got our 21 on the end. If you're looking at using the grid method, you would collect together these terms. And that's how you get your 2 marks in your exam for this question. Pause the video now if you'd like to have a go at this before I go through it. Okay, so here we've got m multiplied by m, which is m squared, m multiplied by 5, which is positive 5m, positive 4 multiplied by m, which is positive 4m, and then finally positive 4 multiplied by positive 5, which equals to positive 20. We again get our little parrot, and that just reminds you that you've multiplied all 4 things. So here we've got m squared plus 9m after we collect together our like terms plus 20. Okay, in this next example, slightly harder, we've got negative in there and we've got a coefficient of x, so we've got a 2x here. Again, we're going to take the same approach as before. We multiply 2x by both terms. 2x multiplied by x is 2x squared. 2x multiplied by negative 1, we get negative 2x. Positive 3 multiplied by x, you get positive 3x. And finally, positive 3 multiplied by negative 1 gives you negative 3. Here, again, we collect our like terms. We just have to be careful as we've got a negative 2x plus 3x. So our 2x squared remains the same. Negative 2x add 3x is positive 1x, which is exactly the same as writing 2x squared plus x minus 3. So either answer there would be accepted in the exam. Okay, pause the video now if you want to have a go at a similar question. Right, so here we've got x times 2x, which is 2x squared, x times negative 1, which is negative 1x, positive 5 multiplied by 2x is positive 10x, and finally positive 5 times by negative 1 gives you negative 5. Now we collect together our like terms. We've got negative 1x plus 10x. So negative 1 plus 10 is equal to 9. Therefore, negative 1x plus 10x must be positive 9x. And everything else stays the same. Okay, so having a look at question 5. This is a triple bracket. So this time we've got to expand 3 pairs of brackets. To begin with, we're going to treat it as the same as the questions above, and we're going to look at the first 2 brackets. So we're going to expand this double bracket to begin with. This is your first step for every triple bracket question. 3x multiplied by x is 3x squared. 3x multiplied by 5 is 15x. Negative 1 multiplied by x is negative 1x. And negative 1 multiplied by positive 5 is negative 5. So here again we collect together our like terms, which is our x. We've got positive 15x, subtract 1x, which is equal to 14x minus this 5. Okay, so now we have just worked out the answer to this 3x minus 1 multiplied by x plus 5. So we start by writing that out. I'm going to put it back in brackets and you'll see why in a second. Then our second part, our triple bracket, is this 4x minus 3. So now what we have to do is multiply the answer we've got from our double bracket by this bracket 4x minus 3. We do exactly the same as before, but this one's a little bit more complicated because in our first bracket we've got 3 terms. So we do 3x squared multiplied by 4x, which is 12x cubed. We have 3x squared multiplied by negative 3, which is negative 9x squared. We now go to our middle term. 14x multiplied by 4x is equal to 56x squared. 14x multiplied by negative 3 is equal to negative 42x. And then finally we've got to multiply our negative 5 by both terms. Negative 5 multiplied by 4x is equal to negative 20x. And then finally negative 5 multiplied by negative 3 is equal to positive 15. So now we've got to collect together our like terms. Again, this is slightly trickier because we've got more sets of like terms. We've got negative 9x squared plus 56x squared, and we've got negative 42x and negative 20x. So our final answer would be 12x cubed. Negative 9 plus 56 is plus 47. We've got our x squared. Negative 42x, subtract another 20x, is negative 62x. And then we've got our 15. In this question, it actually gives you the answer, so you can check in your exam that you've got the full marks. Okay, pause the video now if you'd like to have a go at this question before I talk through it. Right, so same as before, we're going to multiply out our first double bracket. Now we're going to write that answer, we're going to put it inside the bracket and multiply it by our third bracket in the question. This is where it gets a little bit trickier. So here we multiply 2x squared by both terms, that gives you 6x cubed plus 2x squared. We've got to multiply 1x by both terms, that gives you 3x squared plus 1x. And then finally you've got to multiply negative 6 by both terms. That gives you negative 18x, subtract 6. Again, we're going to collect together our like terms. So we've got positive 2x squared, positive 3x squared, and then we've got our positive 1x, subtract our 18x. So our final answer would be 6x cubed plus 5x squared minus 17x minus 6.